welcome to another episode of Death By, where contestants will earn reps for their arguments for a chance to stand on top of the podium pedestal. I am your host, Lauren Kalil. Whoever I decide has the best argument through the final round will earn 30 seconds to talk about a topic of their choosing. On today's episode, we have two-time Affiliate Cup champion and seminar staff head trainer James Hobart.
Get James.
CrossFit Games reporter Niki Braizer with kettlebells and cocktails. CrossFit Games athlete Tim Paulson. And another CrossFit Games athlete and another father, the father at the CrossFit Games with the most children, Travis Mayer.
What a title, Travis.
That is what a title. Man, lots of kids.
The dad at the games with the most kids.
Yeah. Should definitely count for something.
Yeah,
it's quadruple the dad's strength.
Yeah, I feel like they have like all the championship medals right here when people win. Mine should just be a little child, like
a pacifier.
Yeah, like,
or just a baby emoji.
Yeah, you get like a buy on certain workouts. Too many kids. Sorry, can't do this one.
Whoa. We can add that. Maybe it'll even give you some extra points today. We'll have to see. But here we go, baby. Let's play Death By. Topic number 1, the Open. It kicks off next week, believe it or not. And thus far, we know details and matchups for 2 of the 3 weeks. 24.1, Brent Fikowski and Jeffrey Adler will face off, as well as Alexis Raptis versus Alex Kazan. And on 24.2, it'll be Justin Medeiros versus Colton Mertens. So of those matchups, which are you most excited for and why? Travis Mayer, it's your first time here. We'll let you start round number 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely biased in this for sure because I'm going to have to go with Alexis. I mean, I train with her on a daily basis and get to hang out with her all the time and see where her training's at and how things are going. And I mean, she had a really good finish last game. So I think she's going to be ready for the season. And I think this is just going to start it off. But yeah, those Canadian guys, I'm not too worried about them. I'm more concerned about watching people I train with and hanging out with.
What has the lead up been like with Alexis? I know that we missed out on seeing her during the off season. Have you been able to talk to her about the excitement at all?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I mean, I've kind of been in and out of the gym. We did some mini vacations with the family, so it's a little here and there with the gym stuff. But yeah, she's definitely excited. She definitely didn't tell me, and I was a little bummed she didn't tell me. And then when I found out, I was like, what was this? She's like, I couldn't tell you. And I was like, don't give me the NDA nonsense that CrossFit does. No, but I was really excited for her. I think she's really excited too. I mean, anytime you get the opportunity to perform in that kind of scenario and setting with people, I think is always going to bring more out of you. And I think you'll kind of see a good side of that for her.
2 points for Travis. We're going to give 5 points to Alexis for honoring her NDA and not telling Travis.
I know. I told her she should have broke it.
Let her know she's getting points even though she's not even a contestant on the show. Niki, which matchups are you most excited for?
Yeah, I have like the opposite answer from Travis. I'm actually most excited to watch the Canadian guys throw down because I think I still have like the afterglow of Wodapalooza in my mind. And, I had a chance to talk at length with both Brent and Jeff because he was down there just kind of like spectating. And I thought, Brent just had a wonderful experience. And I think everything that he went through down there and the way that he sort of like climbed back up the leaderboard and the way that he really evaluated where his strengths and weaknesses were at that point in the season is going to make it really exciting and interesting to watch him in just a couple weeks moving forward. And then Jeffrey's approach, just in really focusing on exactly the timing that he needs to train, how and when he needs to peak, like really making decisions about where and when he should and shouldn't compete. Even though the other guys like Pat and Brent really wanted to go team with him. They really wanted to bring back PB&J at Wodapalooza, and he said no. He's just making really conscious decisions about what his season
could
and should look like.
Seconds then? Since I was past teammate and I sloppy seconds, what's that about?
I'm just saying it was common knowledge, my friend.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Say, do with that what you will. No, but it'll be interesting to see. And, obviously he's got this champion's mindset and it'll be really cool to watch them out there and see kind of like where in the season they stack up against one another. And then there'll be all sorts of debate about what it even means, because does it even matter what happens in February? Nah.
No,
You know what
it
I mean?
doesn't.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 points for Niki. Tim, who are you excited to see?
I promise I'm not just taking the matchup we haven't talked about because we haven't talked about it yet. It was actually the one that I had picked beforehand. But Colton and Justin, I'm actually super excited for. Colton obviously joined Proven a couple weeks ago. He's been working with a good friend, Joey, as a coach. And he just, like Joey says, he's super fired up about his training right now and just kind of, where he's headed in the future. So, and I think also seeing Justin and what kind of bounce back he starts to make, just because obviously having an off year at the games last year, even though the Open doesn't matter, you kind of want to come back and make a statement. And I think Justin will certainly intend to do that in their matchup. And I think also just like, if I'm being honest, like Colton is so freakishly good at so many things. And I think when you like the Open tends to favor some of that. So I would just love to see like just him like set a world record score at the Open announcement and just walk away and mic drop everything. So yeah, Colton Justin.
Without obviously knowing what the workout is yet, do you want to put your money where your mouth is and say that Colton is going to beat Justin?
I mean, I think Colton's beat Justin in most of the Opens that I'm aware of. So I mean, I would put money on Colton, like for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I like to hear it. 4 points for you, Tim. Off to a strong start.
Not like my whole house, but like some money for sure.
Okay.
Just some side money. James, now that all the matchups are out there, who are you going to be in line with?
Well, I am most excited for week 3. But
come on.
Wah, wah.
Hey, you let me know. You guys text me. But I agree with Tim on this wholeheartedly. I think the Justin Colton matchup is really exciting for a handful of reasons. One of the reasons Tim didn't mention that I really like, the more Colton has gained some notoriety, been a larger presence in media for his interviews down at Wodapalooza. Like, I think he has a really cool, I don't know, this really nice balanced sense of humility as well as bravado. Like, I think he said to that one workout, he said down in Wodapalooza, I was going to win this shit anyway. That is something I really appreciate from athletes. I get it. The Open doesn't matter, but I also think for the top athletes, the Open can either be like an exhibition game or it can be a home run derby. So to Tim's point, I think to see Colton come out there and just set up some score where he makes it look so easy, the rest of us are like, oh yeah, the Open's not going to be that bad. And then we do the workout and we get 50% of what he got. I think that's so fun to see that go down. I also think it's a lot of eyes on Justin to see what his training has been like and where he is at compared to, I would say, what a lot of people were disappointed with his performance last year. That's not a knock at him. He's was a champ multiple times. So it's cool to see where is he going to be this time around and kicking off the Open. So that's the one I'm most excited for, except for week 3.
Okay, except for week 3 that none of us know yet. 3 points for James. I guess we'll have to follow up with him.
James, are you lying to us?
Sorry, you broke up. I couldn't
you know?
hear you. All right, next question. That was a good one.
Yeah. Moving right along on to topic number 2. Other details that we just learned surrounding 24.2 is the location. It was not revealed by James Hobart, but the matchup was on Justin Medeiros' YouTube page talking about the location. It's going to be inside what he calls the Shred Shed. So at Justin Medeiros' home gym. Do we love it or hate it? James Hobart, you get to start this round.
Oh boy. I was actually just talking to some the affiliate owner, the affiliate I go to, Brendan Kincaid, she owns CrossFit Mafia. Because I saw some affiliate comments of like, hey, how is this supporting the affiliate community? She absolutely loves the idea. And her reasons were, one, Justin comes from a longstanding affiliate, CrossFit Fort Vancouver. He's a great representative of the community. And I do think the Open, me personally, I think the Open should have like this like flashy appearance to it. So I think to do it in this like really cool, iconic space for one of the best athletes in the sport is something that is really fun. I don't have a big problem with it. I don't have much more to say on it other than that. And I like that the venues change. I think we should have an Open announcement like, I don't know, what is that place down in Vegas, that giant sphere with all the LEDs or whatever they are? Like, we should have Open announcements in like these like super iconic killer places to really build up the sensationalism of it. On top of the Eiffel Tower, Justin Medeiros' garage, they're all the same in my eye. And I think it'll be a lot more exciting and cool than some of the negative commenters have stated on social media.
The Eiffel Tower is the same as Justin's garage?
No, it's not. But
Interesting.
I like the idea of though, as much as I love supporting the affiliates and showcasing affiliates who have a big presence in the Open, I like the idea of like bringing this wild, sensational feeling to the Open. You know, like, I don't know, I could think of all kinds of crazy places to have an Open workout, and I think we should continue to look at that kind of stuff.
Okay,
The
make
Tony
that
Budding
list.
era
You should pitch it.
returns.
I don't know if I like that comparison, but fair, Tim. Fair.
2 points for James.
Oh.
Tim, love it or hate it?
Hate would be a strong word. I think it's pretty, like, I think it's really cool. I agree with James. You know, I think it is it's cool for him to be able to show off his, you know, his facility, like where he trains. But it's definitely kind of home field advantage. So kind of hate that a little bit, that you're giving, you know, he's hosting in his garage, basically, like doesn't have to travel, just kind of rolls up after a nice little dinner and does an Open workout. But I do think that, like, I would say I tend to hate it, not hate, again, loose word, but just because the Open's about the affiliate, it's about the community. And even though garage gyms are definitely a part of the community, there's plenty of people that do train in the garage, and it is very cool. I think just continuing to highlight affiliates should be at more of like a forefront of the community when it comes to the Open. So I would say that I would like to see it in more gyms around the world, whether that's international or just smaller affiliates that maybe, you know, this might be the coolest thing they ever do from like a big picture standpoint. I think that would also be cool. You know, so yeah, that's my take. Like I said, I don't love it, but I tend to hate it more than
3 points.
it's such
for
a
Tim.
strong word.
Niki, do you love it or dislike it? Does that make us feel better?
I honestly, I'm like really in Tim's camp on this one, because I don't hate it. I don't have like giant feelings about it one way or another. I'm not sure how much of a home court advantage it truly is outside of the travel element, because that actually does matter, you know, figuring out like how to travel, and are you in a different time zone, and did you get sick on the plane, like, I don't know, but other than that, like, as long as Colton has time to get in there and figure out like which bar he likes or where he wants to stand ahead of time, then like it really should be fine. It'd be the same as walking into an affiliate that you don't normally train in. But I don't love it because I just feel like there's a missed opportunity to not even necessarily showcase the affiliate community more, but to tell some really unique or special stories about the affiliate that they choose to host in. And that's something I think CrossFit should be doing more often anyway. We sometimes get like a few little nuggets here and there, like we'll hear from the affiliate owner in an interview or something, kind of like in the entire experience as the show is going on when they broadcast it. But I would love to hear more like really specific stories about people at that affiliate, or maybe cool things that that affiliate does, or ways that the owner is working on getting more people in the door, like just all the things, all the really personal stories that we're always talking about within our community. I think if we were to host it at an affiliate, we'd have more of an opportunity to broadcast those stories, and that just kind of helps lift everything up. But I don't hate it. And to James' point, like, it is fun and flashy and different. So a mix is fine. I'm not trying to give a non-answer. I'm just saying, like, I don't have huge feelings about it one way or another.
Okay, not huge feelings. I like the thought of affiliate storytelling. 2 points for Niki.
Okay.
Travis, love it or dislike it?
I absolutely hate it. I think it's the stupidest thing.
Oh!
No, I agree with Tim and Niki. I mean, definitely from being an affiliate owner and being an athlete on that side, I think you want to showcase more of the affiliate side. And I think there's been a little dark area with some of the affiliates and some of the things that have happened between CrossFit recently, that I think being able to showcase, whether it's international or these gyms that don't get as much exposure, like, right, Justin's got his exposure, he's got his sponsors, he's got all these things that are awesome. And granted, yeah, it's nice being able to see this pretty sweet setup of the gym that the dude's got at his house. Like, don't get me wrong, that's absolutely phenomenal. But I think for a lot of people, they don't have that. And I think showing these other gyms that don't get that exposure, or are kind of on the fence right now with CrossFit, and like, do I want to keep rebranding and staying affiliated? I think this is this weird error right now that, like, some people are in this limbo effect. And I think showcasing more of the affiliates, like Niki's saying, telling the stories of the community and the people that are supporting it and the things that are happening and taking place. I think sometimes we get overlooked by focusing on the same few people throughout the sport versus diversifying and reaching out to other people that have other things that are going on and happening. And I think those things would mean more to those people than, not saying this doesn't mean a lot to Justin and whatnot, but I think it can mean more to the affiliates and help them. But that's just like kind of my standpoint of this weird dynamic I feel like right now from being an affiliate owner and CrossFit and communication and other things. It's just my kind of thought around that. So I think it's not right. Same thing. Like, I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I think I'd lean more towards the dislike kind of side of showcase a little bit more for the affiliates and the people that are trying to get the word more out for everybody and share the word of CrossFit. And I think getting into those random small gyms that have maybe 80 members and like that to them is like the Super Bowl, right? Like if you saw Justin and Colton coming into your gym, like you don't get that experience very often. And like, we're lucky enough that we have a very here, like at my gym, we have a lot of high level people that come into town. You have Alexis, myself, Noah, like you have people that have competed. So my members are used to that, right? Like, and then when new people come in, they're like, man, I didn't know you would be here. Like, and the shock that they have of like the realization that like, man, we're just normal people, man. I love working out. I love helping people, like seeing those people get the first bar muscle ups, whatever it may be. I think that's the stuff that's like connecting to the community and like gets the people excited about it. So I think I'd probably be more on the hate side, I guess, of all of that.
Also, I guess here's a question. Does anyone know, to Travis's point, there's only been so many like affiliate owners at the games in the last like decade or so. Have they ever done an open announcement at like an affiliate that was owned by a game, like a games athlete?
They did one
at their person, like at that person's affiliate.
Yeah, like at a games athlete who's an affiliate owner, like, an individual who owns an affiliate. Like, have they done?
Yeah, did they do one at Stacy's gym?
Oh, they did. Okay, yeah, they did Stacy's gym a couple years ago. I remember that.
I mean, I know Scott's done them, right? Like, and Rich and stuff, but like it's never been at their affiliate.
Yeah, for sure. Just thought might be kind of cool tying the whole competitive season, start of the competitive season, affiliate, like bringing it all back together. Like that would be a cool thing to be looking at.
Well, that would be a fun way to like say, hey, for this year, the affiliate that gets the most signups, we're going to host an event there next year. And then maybe the affiliate that has the greatest amount of growth in signups, right? Just so that way it's not always the that person gets the second open workout next year. That could be cool.
And then that also creates the community aspect of like, then the affiliates are getting excited because they want to push the sport and like, guys, sign up. Like we could have this opportunity to like have the open here, like, and then you create a deadline, of course, that cuts off for that, right? Like you have the first week somewhere. So you make this like the third week, but I think that gets people more excited and affiliates invested more versus like, hey, here, pay for the open. And then people are like, well, what do I get out of this? And it's like, and then that's a hard thing for me to even answer. Like, as a question, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know right now, right? Because it used to be aired on TV. You'd have people that would come in off the street, like all these other things that people would experience from that happening. And then like, I mean, we all know what's happened over the course of time, but it's gotten to what it is now. But I think
I'd make it a storytelling contest too. Like do it like, because that way you don't totally eliminate gyms that have like 80 members versus gyms that have like 400 members.
Oh, sure.
I would do like just grab your iPhone and record a quick video about what makes your gym special and send it to us, right? And then they have all this content that they can use on social media or make like cool like compilation videos or whatever they want to do. And then they have like, stories that they can pick from, and then they can follow up with like, bigger pieces of storytelling at the event itself. So that would also be cool. I encourage
pretty
more
much
of
just
that
make it like a bid for like getting Masters tickets or something else. You just make it bid, put all your videos, clips together, send it in, and then then CrossFit can review it and look at it. And then I think that would be an easy way to decide. And then it's all completely random and not favored one way or another.
Wouldn't that maybe require a media department though?
When you put it that way.
Tim just keeping us in line. Travis, 4 points. This might be a reach, and I'm curious what you all think and if it truly is, but is highlighting one of the open announcements at somebody's garage, is that in a way discouraging people to go to an affiliate and actually just start their own gym?
I mean, I don't think it discourages them, but like, I mean, I know, like, throughout the course of COVID, I mean, our gym, we're in New York State. We were shut down for 9-10 months.
Long time.
Government gave everybody a whole bunch of money. And like, I've got a number of members that spent a couple $1,000s at Rogue in the early parts of COVID and built like a little garage facility, but they still come to the gym. Like, even if they do have it now, like, they might work out at home once or twice a week, but like, obviously, they're back at the gym now. They come for the community, the coaching, all this stuff. So like, as long as they're pumping up the affiliates the way that they should be, I mean, everyone knows it's very different doing that than working out in your garage by yourself. Like, there's a novelty to it. Like, I have a basement gym. I love training there occasionally, but I would much rather go to my gym and see people and, be a part of class or something like that.
I mean, it's the community aspect of it all. I mean, I think people even get bored inside their gym, right? Like, that's why they come in the first place, is they're bored. They're tired of the same routine, working out by themselves, no accountability, no one pushing them. And I think that's what all drove a lot of us to like even enjoying CrossFit, right? Like, you're all sweating, you're suffering together, and then you're opening a beer at the end of it and like hanging out with your friends. Like, I think that's what got me into it. My buddy was like, dude, you get to drink beer when you're done. I was like, well, this is awesome, let's do it. But
Sold.
That's like what it started back in the day, right? Like, you just work out, have a beer, and then like hang out. And I think like that community aspect is way stronger than being alone in your garage and doing it. It's like, yeah, you could do it, but I don't think it's what's going to keep you going back for more.
Yeah, and I think truly, if we're all trying to just hype up the accessibility of fitness, right? Like, that's why we're all in it. We're trying to make the world a fitter place, and we're trying to make the CrossFit methodology as accessible as possible. Then nothing that we do and no way that we offer CrossFit discourages one thing or another. I mean, .com programming has been free since day one. People still walk into affiliate. Like, that doesn't discourage people from walking into affiliates and seeking out a great coach to help them with other different types of programming. Like, I just think if the whole point is getting CrossFit in front of as many people as possible, then if some people want to see a home gym setting because that's going to help them out 1, 2, 5, 7 days a week, who cares? We're getting that methodology in front of them in one way, shape, or form, and that's kind of helpful to the entire goal.
Can we just all agree that we should just clip what Niki just said, and that should be the Instagram post? Can we just all agree to that right now?
What, James?
Just saying.
That's the nicest thing that's anyone ever said to me. Come on.
Should we collab with CrossFit on it, James?
For sure. I mean, I can't pull any strings there, but I'll give you a thumbs. I'll give you a +1 on that one for sure.
Maybe the one media intern could repost it.
Okay.
Oh, good. Someone hit my name on the collab button too. I'll accept.
Okay, so we will move now on to topic number 3. We're talking all about the open. We're talking about the open announcements. And we actually got this question from one of our patrons, Dan Dye. What is one thing that you would add and one thing that you would take away that would enhance the live open announcements? For this round, Niki, we will let you begin.
Okay, I couldn't think of anything to take away, but I have a really solid thing to add. A few years ago, we had this setup where we had like elite athletes going head to head. And then we also had like scaled or novice athletes that were also competing at the same time and showing like the scaling and showing the time frame that it's going to take most of us to do it, or like the rep scheme that it's going to take most of us to do it. And I loved that. Like, you know, that joke that people make about like putting a regular person in the Olympics just to like see how we'd all stack up. It felt like that, but not condescending at all. It felt like reality, and it felt like real life CrossFit. And you as a viewer were just like so amped up to see those people out on the competition floor alongside the elite athletes. Like, I was almost more amped up to watch them finish like the scaled or the novice versions of the workout that I was the elites. And I would love to bring that back, or bring it back in some way. Like, if the shred shed can only have 2 people going at once, then like I want to see a couple of heats. You know what I mean? But I think that would be really fun to bring back, so that we could just like continue showing people that elite athletes are out here to inspire us and to show us what is possible, what our bodies are capable of. But every other athlete is also out here facing exactly what we're facing every single day when we set foot into the gym. And that is a really special feeling, like you're a part of something greater, you know?
Nothing that you would take away?
I couldn't, like, at one point I was thinking like there's a little bit of uncertainty when it comes to like the time of the announcements, and I would love more time for the affiliates and folks to be able to get things done. So like maybe we could set a time and like move up the announcement on a Thursday so that people have a little bit more of a window, just like with real life. And as we're all getting older, it's hard to like fit it always. So I'll have more kids. As Travis keeps having kids, it's harder for him to fit it in. But then the only reason I didn't want to like plant my flag in the sand about that is because I also understand that part of moving the timing around has been moving the announcements around, and globally too. I think it's a little unfair that we always have these like announcements that people in Europe have to watch at like 2:00 in the morning. So that wasn't really, I didn't land on that because it didn't really feel like a good answer. And I like you have to draw the line somewhere. Like there has to be a short window for us to do. That's the whole point of this. So that's why I didn't have a good one. So I was kind of like, the timing is a little weird. No, sorry.
Okay.
I don't need points because I didn't fully answer the question, but I do want to see more scaled athletes out there.
We'll give you 1 point, Niki.
Yes.
We'll still put a point on the board.
Wow. Thank you. So
Travis, one thing you would add and one thing you'd take away.
Oh, man, I try to think about this. All right, just definitely from the affiliate side, from the athlete side, try to weigh a lot of pros and cons. I mean, me personally, I think it would be cool to see the Open not be the first qualifying stage for the games. Like, yeah, I think it's cool that you go against just everybody to get to that next stage and qualify. But I think it would be cooler to create community events like this for the affiliates throughout the year. And the Open is like one of those. And I think having like almost like 3 events throughout the year, I think one would get affiliates more excited to like tell members about, share what's happening, what can be going on, and like gives them things throughout the year that they're more like invested in and can share versus just like, hey, this one time is the Open. But I think that would be a cool way to get the community more involved and more frequently to like see kind of throughout the year how it goes and something different. That's not something I guess that like could probably work, but I think it would be something cooler to get the whole community involved and then probably get the affiliates more behind. If it's like, guys, we have these 3 events that take place, you get to see each time where you rank, and then it doesn't even need to be that it goes and like is happening in people's gyms or affiliates or even because like, right, camera, media, all that stuff, like that stuff can happen at HQ or whatnot. But to me, I think that would be something different that would help the community, and then maybe not be the first step for those of us that are trying to be on the professional side of things, like almost separate it a little bit of like the professional side of it and then like the community side of it, where I think like the Open for most of us that are elite level, like, right, like it's a community event. Like for most of us getting through to the top 25% or 10%, whatever it's been, like that's the stuff when it's separate. Yeah, let's see. Disadvantage, or what was the other takeaway? What would I take away?
Yep.
I feel like the unknown aspect of all of it. I think creating a list of movements that are put out, say, hey, for the Open workouts, these movements will come out, XYZ. These are the floor plans, but there's no description of like showing what it is, but like these are the floor plans that you'll need. One is an affiliate owner. I mean, having over 200 something members, like needing to set up Friday night lights, but we do a Friday morning lights and a Friday night lights. So being able to have those things ahead of time to plan and like organize, so I get my coaches involved, everybody, like versus Thursday afternoon, we're like rushing, trying to tape things in between classes, then get classes finished and then go into the next morning and do that. I think just some more information. Not saying you need to say what the workouts are, but I think helping affiliates have like some understanding of what's to come and what to prepare versus like 1 year, hey, we all need dumbbells. Like, man, well, how are we just now finding out about this? And now I need to spend $5,000 on dumbbells to work for this. And like, thankfully we're in a good enough spot that like I can do that and help my members out that way. But there's a lot of gyms that aren't. So if there's some heads up of things like that and stuff that happens, I think that would be kind of my takeaway, is like just some more information ahead of time. Same with like quarterfinals and all these other things of like, man, just give the floor plans or give like a movement standard. And even if it's 50 movements, it doesn't matter, but you touch those movements at some point in time over the course of the 3 weeks. And then you have another set one for quarterfinals and those movements are set. You touched them at some point. And I think that can just allow it to like take some of the ease off for a lot of people and like prepare. And then if you don't prepare any of those movements, that's on you, right? Like that's up to you. But at least it doesn't make people from the professional side of things look like idiots, right? Like if we knew ahead of time that there could potentially be crossover double unders at the games, like, and you put it out 3 months before, and if you didn't practice, that's on you. But like if you just had some idea of like, hey, there's 50 movements and some point it could come out, then you practice, right? And then you look way better on TV. And then I think it gets crowd more excited. People are more intrigued to watch. It's more exciting versus like, why are these guys tripping all the time doing these things? You know, like I think that as like more of the separate from probably like the open is like more of a sport kind of thing. But I guess that would kind of be like what I would take away and add.
I would give Travis 10 out of 10 for floor plans earlier as an affiliate owner, because setting up the open, like waiting in my gym at 3:00 in the afternoon before I go pick up like my son to set up the gym as fast as I can so Friday morning classes can run smoothly is a shit show.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, you're printing out 50 to 100 score sheets, getting all the pens, papers. Like there's so many more things that go into it, like to create it successfully for a gym. I'm not saying you can't just go in and do it, which a lot of people do, but we try to create it as an event, right? Like there's the Friday night lights for all the afternoon people, and we create heats. We have music. We have food catered every week. Like we try to create this event, right? And it's like there's a lot of things we're trying to do to, one, help our members feel excited, be like encouraged and want to do this. And then it's like, man, they're giving me this literally like a couple hours before, and I'm like sprinting to get all this stuff done. And just it's hard, right? Like there's only so much time. And then it's like, all right, well, I still got 4 kids. Like I have other things I still need to do and accomplish here. But I think just little things like that, just more information.
4 points for Travis. I really like the concept of affiliates first and making it easier for affiliates to host these things. I do have a follow-up question specifically for you and Tim. If the Open was not part of the season, and I'm not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent, would athletes like yourselves, other games athletes, would they sign up and do it just for fun and to be part of the community?
I think, to me, it would depend, right? Like it would depend on what that actually would look like and be. I think, right? Like for a lot of us, there's not really that much of an off season. The sport's long, and then out of that, you have a couple big events that take place right after the games, and then another one, and then you're like, all right, well, now here we go. Like our season's kind of starting in February, but in reality, it doesn't really start till like May. And for me, for instance, last year getting hurt in the Open right before that at Wodapalooza, if I could have kind of bypassed that, I was fine at semifinals and quarterfinals. So it's like I missed out on a whole season because I had to partake in the Open. So to me, it was a little frustrating of like, all right, well, feel like I've earned to bypass that point, you know, like some qualifications or top 20 of the game automatically bypasses you. Or you do something like that where like if you took top 20 of the games, you automatically earn a bye to semifinals or something, right? Like you've earned the spot to get to that point again. But I mean, that's a much deeper question. I feel like that you could really like dive into and explore from that area.
Tim, would you still do it? And then I'll let you answer one thing you'd add and take away from Open announcements.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still do it, but I think also just like I would maybe do it as kind of my off-season shape. You know, like I would do it with my community. I would do Friday Night Lights, but I would do it under the assumption that like, hey, I'm a little fat and slow right now. Like, you know, I'm not in peak shape, and it doesn't matter. You know, like I'm in my off-season shape and nobody cares. Like I don't care. It doesn't affect my season. So if I don't put up my best effort, it doesn't matter to me. You know, like I'm just here to have fun with my gym, have fun with my community, and throw down and enjoy it. So I would still do it. But like I said, it would be maybe like, you know, RPE 7.
Fair. Okay, now on to the question. What would you add and take away from Open announcements?
I love Niki's answer. That was like the first thing that came to my mind was adding back like, you know, some normal everyday gym goers and having them do the workouts alongside the elites. What I want to add back though, I want Dave Castro and the pageantry back. I want all of my old school, like Dave doing these silly announcements where he's got a jacket on and he's drinking wine in Italy at 2 a.m. Like I love that stuff. And to me, it's like so nostalgic that like, I don't know. Dave to me is synonymous with the sport of CrossFit, good, bad, or indifferent. And I want to see him as part of the open announcements because, frankly, I just enjoy it. You can love or hate Dave Castro. That's great. I don't care what your opinion is. I just think it's really like I've always enjoyed that side of it. Like, and again, whether he's the heel for you or whatever role he plays, I want to see Dave Castro back in open announcements. And yeah, Travis took the golden answer for what I would take away, but I would take away the comment section on social media because I think it's just really a good rule of thumb for life. I think we should just, generally delete comment sections because nothing good happens there. And I think on the live stream, they should just delete that unless you're going to have someone there monitoring the absolute nonsense that's happening.
Yeah, I love that. Tim. Yeah.
Tim, I really think that was the golden answer of the day. Turn off all comment sections.
That should be the Instagram clip from the show. God.
Just clip
Or
them together.
At least have friggin' moderators out there on the live stream. Gosh.
No, it's just Russian troll farms just flooding the comments on the CrossFit Open announcement post.
Oh man! Look, I have a question. Do we
Yes.
know that the Dave Castro character is not coming back this year? Because he's going to be involved this year, right?
He said in his week in review, I'm pretty sure he said he would be at week 1, but I do not think he said he'll be at the second 2 weeks. Maybe James can confirm or deny, or
He doesn't
I'm
know.
not doing
Just
anything.
keep lying. Keep lying.
Okay, and moving on to James, 4 points for you, Tim, because the final answer of that was great.
Yes.
James,
Okay.
you're up.
Well, you guys stole all the good stuff. I feel like there's been some side chatter that took away from a potential better answer. So I'll blame my loss this week on that. I like a lot of what you guys have said. Something that came up as we were talking earlier, one thing I think would be really cool is to basically make it competitive for affiliates to participate, to have a potential to host or some other type of prize to participate in the game season, either that current season or next season. Don't make it just based around total participation. So you don't only have big gyms winning, but maybe like best percentage growth or best story, as Niki talked about earlier. I thought that was a really nice answer. The other piece I really would like to see is I did love the international announcements. For me and my seminar staff background, like I really grew up in the international side of CrossFit, traveling around. So I just love seeing what is going on inside of affiliates outside of the US. So I would really like to see that piece there as well. As far as what to take away, again, I'll just be a broken record here. Travis said it. I've felt this way. It's always good to hear other affiliate owners say this. Especially, it's good to hear from an athlete as competitive and successful as Travis say this. Take away some of the mystery of the open. Like, just give some a little bit clearer parameters. I think that is something that could more easily drive affiliate participation. And I think that's so important here. Dave Castro pageantry. Yeah, it would be super cool. We need more. We need another heel back in CrossFit just to say some crazy things and do some wild stuff. I think they should have regular people doing the open announcements, but they should have to do it RX. So there you go.
Wait,
do you
why?
mean? Give us an
No
example.
scaling.
Just
We don't
watch the
scale.
total slaughter. Just be devastating.
James
No,
is
I'm
saying that
kidding.
not as his official role at HQ. That is definitely personal, James.
That is just
James
that is
out
just
for
yeah.
blood. He just wants to see the carnage.
But because I think some of those open announcements, like because if you do scale them properly, it looks challenging, but they still get through it well. But you watch some of these athletes do the open announcements, and they're so good. They make it look so easy, and in your head, you're like, it's not going to be so bad. And then you go into your gym and you just get annihilated. So I think if you had some regular Joes up there doing it RX, and you'd be like, oh yeah, this is going to decimate me. I probably should scale this thing. Be really good for everybody.
I actually agree with that because, I don't know, Travis, your opinion, but for our members, the first thing I tell everybody every week is if you can safely RX this, do it.
Yeah.
Even if it's slow, even if you get time capped, even if whatever, now is the time. If you can do it and you're not going to hurt yourself, I would always encourage you to do it RX because, again, it's a good benchmark of your skills, your strength, all these other things. We'll scale every day when you come to the gym to make progress, but now's your fitness checkup. So let's do that. So I actually agree with James 100%.
I think you can do both. I think you can have your top guy, gal at your gym is still leagues and leagues and leagues away from the elite level CrossFit Games athletes. So I think you can do both. I think you can have some of your top athletes go against them. Their scores are going to be wildly different. Their times are going to be wildly different. But I still stand by like scaled novice, put a friggin' pregnant person out there, like show the world that this is adaptable to anyone and everyone, to not only inspire people because of how epic the athletes are, but to inspire people that this is approachable for everyone.
2 points for James.
I could tell you didn't like that answer because you didn't even give me points right after. You just waited.
Everybody kept talking. I don't know. Are the like celebrities that do CrossFit? Why can't we get them involved?
How fun.
Why
Yeah.
can't we have
I've
them
been
at an open
saying
announcement?
this for
What about
years.
Schmidt from
No.
New Girl?
We
Yeah,
gotta
him at an open announcement.
Yeah.
Here-
Oh my God, you guys, OG Blippy did CrossFit.
No, hear me out.
Really?
I think I've
Oh
said
God,
this
Yes.
before.
you're gonna get deduction of points, but we'll let you speak.
No, not
Here's
new
the deal.
Blippy.
How do we
Old
grow
Blippy.
CrossFit? I'm going to tell you right now. All we have to do is get Taylor Swift to do one CrossFit workout. And we win.
Wait! I
That's
think
it.
you just won the show.
There we go.
Wow.
That's it. That is
Who has
my
the connection?
5-year plan is to get Taylor
Taylor
Swift to
Swift.
just do one CrossFit workout. I'm putting it out there in the universe. I've said it before.
Okay.
Or just write
I
a
want-
song about CrossFit, mention
Oh
CrossFit in
my
a song one
God.
time.
Yeah, say it one
How
time.
Dave
That's what we
Castro
need.
broke her heart. Like, get out of here. Game
Here
over.
for it. I'm here for it.
Amazing. That's what I want to see. Well, Tim, you won episode 38 of Death by. Congratulations. 30 seconds to stand on your pedestal and talk about whatever your rant is of the week.
Oh, I don't have a rant. I have a rave. The Open's
Oh,
coming.
let's
We're
hear
all
it.
excited. I have a rave for Friday Night Lights. It's like the highlight of our kind of year community-wise for our gym here. And I just think that, like, I guess my rave for it, or my maybe a slight rant, would be like, CrossFit, highlight this. Like, you know, you do your open announcement Thursday, get a media team to like do some kind of coverage of a local gym doing Friday Night Lights on a Friday night, because I think it's just such a cool experience. There's so many cool things that happen around the world, like during the open workouts. And I don't know, speaking for me personally, this will be our 13th Friday Night Lights, 13th year of it. And it's just cool shit happens every week, every year, every week. Someone does a first, someone hits a PR, and it's just awesome to see everybody get fired up. And I think, again, just going back to highlighting the community aspect of CrossFit and kind of just how exciting and empowering this can be. Friday Night Lights, 10 out of 10. Promote it. Do it.
Is everybody here
Yep.
signed up?
No.
I hope so.
Wait, James? Who,
No, I'm
you
signed
are
up.
not?
I'm signed up.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
signed
oh.
up. Yes, okay.
I like to wait till the last minute. I don't want to be like,
Okay.
Oh my God.
gotta take my time.
Do you have a
I'm
little
signed up.
tradition that you have as you
Huh?
sign up? Is there a
No.
tradition or like
No.
uh
Just make sure
no.
I use the right old email address, because they took away one of my game spots because I used a new email address and they never fixed it. Terrible CrossFit. God.
Oh my God. It's so
So bad.
aggressive.
Look, I don't know how you can't go in and change it, but then it's like all the media and everybody's like, "Oh, this is your 7th time," and I'm like, "No, do your research and then actually look." But then like, well, we looked at you used a different email, and so they like never transferred it to. So I've always had to use the first email, like when I first got into CrossFit back in the day, and I still have to use that one, which I don't use at all.
It's like Travis is swole at AOL.com.
I know. It was like I really want to know what this screen name was or
Really-
email.
It's related to motocross stuff. So it's I mean it was back, but it was like Moto Man stuff, and it was great. It was classic, but I don't ever use it. And then
Moto man.
yeah, that's it. You gotta keep it going.
James, can you fix this? Come on, man.
No.
I actually can. We can fix this.
Oh, 12 years later.
I think. I don't know. I mean,
You just happen to be on the right call today, Travis.
I know everyone thinks you just got to flip some switches and it just ties the emails together, but
Yeah.
maybe that can be switched.
I mean, it's just a badge. Just show the badge on this year, like on my actual one. Just change the date. I mean, come on.
My open-
Are you fixing it right now? Are you fixing it? Right now?
I am. I'm working on it.
MOTOMAN.
Well, Niki, Travis, Tim, James, thank you all so much for being on another episode of Death by. Some really fun chats, and I can't believe it. Next week kicks off the 2024 Open, the 2024 season. Good luck to everybody. James, I can't wait to see who's competing in the final week. We will all send you a text when we hear about it. and I'm sure we will chat very soon.